What's up, guys? My name is Shiloh Reed, and I just released an album called The Bogeyman, and I'm always interested in like the creation process of music, so I figured I would just share that for anyone interested because it's something that I'm interested in. So first thing I'm going to show you is I'm just going to show you all the songs in the album, and then I'm going to talk about how they're sequenced, why they're sequenced the way they are, like what order they come in the album, and the reason I did that. And then I'm going to talk about the actual production, like the beats, and how it was put together. And then I'm going to talk about the lyrical content and why I said what I said, I guess. So the first track was Boogeyman Forever, which is funnily the last track that I actually made, because I had the whole album together. And I don't know, it wasn't done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I would listen to it and I'd be like, this is not done. And so I put this track in there, and I forget what exactly prompted me to make this track. But for this song, I'm a big fan of a channel called David Hillowitz Music. It's a fantastic channel. It shows all kinds of stuff having to do with music, and he provides a lot of free resources as well, including the Decent Sampler, which he designed, I believe, and frequently adds new stuff. And I had just watched his video about making your own vinyl records at home. He was talking about these little things you'd use. But yeah, he was talking about how you can make your own records at home. And then he, in the video, he describes that it sucks, but it makes a cool synth. Like if you just draw onto the record and then record the record into the synth. So he made this synth thing, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So, what's up, buddy? So I had... And I thought that was cool. And then I was listening to some Drake song. I think it was Six God. I think I was listening to Six God, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just do the drums on Six God, because I like the drums on Six God. So I just... because it has like a running vibe to it. And then I threw the 808 on there, and it just... So I thought that was cool. I had a lot of fun doing that. But then, right, I was like, okay, this needs some meat. This needs some meat to the actual production. I don't know how to describe it technically, but it needed some extra sound in there. So I recorded me playing some chords on the keys, and then I took them and I recorded them into Edison and then reversed them to create this kind of vibe here. And when it's mixed in, it goes like... Oh, that was scary. Yeah, so that's basically how I made the core of the track. And then I went on to just add like little flourishes, because I like stuff like that, like the ding here. Things like that. And then the god dang, like the pad here, and just to fill it out. I just did a bunch of stuff to fill it out. I did some chopping in here just to mix up the arrangement. Yeah. And then at the end, I threw in the god dang, these little pieces here. then I brought in the bell solo. I literally just played that. Like I was like, I had the whole thing and I was like, all right, I need something at the end just because I really wanted to rise up. So I did the solo. And I put it at the beginning because I wanted some kind of like pseudo instrumental track. Like I like those intros. I like those intro pieces and I like doing stuff like that. They're super cool to me. And then I knew I wanted Melon on it as well. So I had Melon come to my apartment and then we talked about how to formulate these words. It's important to me that whoever I have doing the features is feeling what they're doing. So we wrote it together because I didn't want to write it and then tell them to do it and then they not feel it. So I was like, all right, we talked about it and then we came up with the lyrics that were there and they were relevant to what was going on. And then I sent the track to Miko and he did this real quick. He had a whole other song idea that he did that he asked me to put together for him specifically, and I never did that, and I'm sorry. But I didn't do that, but that's what it ended up being, this section here, which was super cool. And then I just came through, did my silly voice, and I put Gruntilda at the beginning, because I thought it'd be cool. Oh, and this is a bird. I watched a video, the morning I made this, I watched a video in bed about the perception that animals have, like they see the world at different speeds or something like that. And this sound was in there, and I was like, that's cool as hell. So I put it in there as like the summoning of the boogeyman or whatever. Yeah, that's a fun one. I had a lot of fun doing that. If Boogeyman Forever is the last track I made, then this one, This Is Neverland, is probably like the first I made, like one of the first I made. Oh, it wasn't the first actually. I think Channel 15 was the first, but this might have been the second. It was right around. It was really, really early on in the production of the album because I was on a drive with Dusty. We were coming back from Asheville, North Carolina, and I was just playing the radio, and this song came on while we were all over passing some mountain. And I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard. So I really wanted to chop the loop and do my own thing with it. But this is a weird one because I actually did the whole thing like faster. Like this is the normal speed of the song. Also, this is a different version because I lost the final version. So this is like a salvaged rework. But yeah, this is like just way faster. And even the vocals, like even down to the vocals, they're just way, way faster. Yeah, and I remember the idea for this. I was like, I really want like a big choral sound. I actually don't even really care about you hearing what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying isn't quite as important as just the feeling of like what I'm trying to get across here. So the lyrics I say are, no, I'm afraid to be alone. Don't you leave me now. I'll learn to shut my mouth. But by the time I get to the I learn to shut my mouth part, you can't actually hear me because my mouth is too open. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of clever, okay? It's kind of clever, I promise, okay? But yeah, I just... Oh, I'm afraid to be alone. Oh, that autotune is really... And then it just layered up. I've got the different sections here. Oh, afraid to be alone, afraid to be alone. Yeah, and this guy here, which is just me belting. and then it just cuts back through, and then like I said, one more second. And then all together it goes like this. And then that was slowed down, and I did the vocal chop, which was it's actually the vocal chop that I used on this song is the same vocal chop that I used on Balloons. It's the exact same sample. It's just a different part of the same movie, because like I was still feeling similar emotions. I don't know how to explain. I was feeling similar emotions that I was feeling when I was making Balloons. So I was just kind of trying to communicate the same idea, and that'll happen a lot. That happens a lot. The first verse, I wanted to do kind of a singy vibe. I just kind of wanted to catch you in the vibe, do some dope melodies. And then the second verse, I really wanted to bar out a little bit, just kind of get a lay of where I am. And I knew from the jump that this would be the opening track for the album. Like I already knew this would be track number 1 or maybe 2. I didn't know that I would have an intro track before, so I knew that this would be the beginning, because it's so broad. Like you get a sense of where my headspace is at, but it's so broad. I just kind of knew, especially with it's just so like big sounding. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's Neverland. Very fun. Okay, so this is Motherbird. Motherbird, I did right after coming back from goddamn Rochester. I was in New York for a fashion show. The designer had invited me out, and the designer is a big fan of Blade and got me kind of into Blade. So I was listening to some Blade, and I was really enjoying it, because Blade doesn't really make very good music technically. Blade does not make very good music, but all of the vibes are there. You know what I'm saying? All the vibes, all the emotions. You spin Blade and you just start dancing. It's a party. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to catch a similar vibe. This was one of the first times I very intentionally started an arrangement, I guess. Like, it's like I wasn't trying to like make a beat, because this was also right around the time I had been talking to and working with Cam Matthews, and he was explaining to me his thought process towards beat making, or he wasn't really explaining it. I was just kind of watching him work. I realized he doesn't really like make beats. He kind of like arranges them. I don't know if that makes sense. He just like, he'll open his little drum pad and just start playing the drums. You know what I'm saying? So I did something similar. Again, I used David Hilowitz's kit here. Or wait, no, this is RDX actually. Or ODX? ODX. Yeah. What? This is an oscillator? Oh, I forgot I changed it. Yeah. Yeah, I was just playing it. I was just playing that on my keyboard. And then I came through with the other synth, which this is OBX. This is OBXD. This is a great plugin. It's free. It's a bunch of retro synths. So if you're interested in that, definitely get it. It's super sick. That was recommended to me by the guy who made Traveler's Theme, which is a Thomas the Tank Engine type song. And I actually bought the sampling rights to that because I was going to do a song with that, but I didn't end up doing it. But he recommended this to me. Very cool. Love that guy. Check out his songs. But yeah, I came through later with the melody. Yeah, I had that dancey little groove going. And again, just throw the chords on there so you can fill out the space. It's literally the exact same approach. I have the same sort of kind of approach to pretty much all of my music. Is like, okay, here's the core of my song. I'll establish it at some point somewhere, and then just add my filler, and then like start mixing it up. See what I'm saying there? And then you bring it here. You know what I'm saying? Looking for a zip, trying to sip on a cash can. I am the people have called. I am too honestly honest to God. Where do you move? Who do you play for? Can I get a name all day? Let me pay for it. This is a fun one here. So this one I had the hook. Let me, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna go ahead and explain the hook first. The hook was really fun. I already, like I said, I had the melody. You know what I'm saying? And I just like, I'll just put the words on. And I was just feeling like a sweet kind of like superficial, like romantic pop song vibe. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really cutesy about it. Like I don't like songs about sex. I don't really like, you know what I'm saying? That's not my vibe. My vibe is a lot more, walk in the park, you know what I'm saying? Hang out, hold hands vibe. So I was trying to make all of that cutesy stuff seem cool. So I hop on a beat like, taking my time at the park, ask you to be more than friends. I want to hold your hand. Tell me what's your name then? What's your game plan? Let me know. And that's just me. Like I didn't actually, what did I do to that? What did I do to those vocals there? Taking my time at the park. Ask it to. Yeah, dude. That's literally just my voice with some distortion. We got compressions, some distortion, then EQ it to fit it in the space, a chorus and reverb, classic, and then a side chain here at the bottom. Pretty classic. The fun part though is these guys. These guys really make up the meat, I think. Because this is on the left and right. Taking my time at the park, asking to be more than friends. I want to hold your hand. Tell me what's your name then. See, it sounds kind of empty, right, by itself. This is my voice pitched up. As a matter of fact, I'll turn off the pitching so you can hear what it sounds like just regular. Because I think I sang it at a lower octave. Taking my time at the park. Asking to be more than friends. Yeah, just sang it at a lower octave and then pitched it up so that it was in the same key as this, but this is like a belting, right? So I kept all of the low end junk from this section and then cut out all the low end junk for this section, and you put it together. Taking my time at the park, asking to be more than friends. I want to hold your hand. Tell me what's your name then. And that was actually, I learned that tip from Carter Panko freaking years ago, dude. When I was doing BLT, I brought in Lettuce to his studio. And he was like, when you're doing vocals, if you want to have like big, like lots of vocals, I recommend putting whatever is in the low end towards the center and having your high end far away from you. So I've kind of done that philosophy pretty much forever with vocals in a bunch of different ways, as you'll see when we go through all the tracks. And all the little flourishes are thanks to all of my friends, dude. This is Soldier. Oh, you can't hear it. That's awkward. That's just, I was just like, hey, can you do like a woo? And he was like, yeah, I'll do a woo. And then this is a massive legend. I was like, yo, how do you, I need something to fill the space before the chorus. What's that pre-delay thing? He's like, oh, you just copy it and whatever, and you get this cool effect. My time at the park. Really, really cool. And it's a great transition sound because you go from, where do you move? Who do you play for? Can I get a name all day? Let me pay for it. My time at the park. And then I do it twice over here. Yeah, super cool. Then I got Jude here, bro. Jude did amazingly well. Can I be honest, though? This song isn't done. I'll be honest. I don't like this song because, in my opinion, it's not finished. I didn't give it the polish that it needs, and that's most clear with this verse. No diss on Jude at all. He killed it. I'm not gonna point it out because I don't want you guys to be like, oh wow, this song does suck. But I just didn't mix it all the way. You know what I'm saying? And no one even really knows or cares, but the ones who know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, bruh.
Ring on your hand, a flight to Japan, love letters just to show you I am everything we could have been. I've been thinking of you, baby blue. Do you think of me too, or am I just product of placement? Right time, right place. A good love, life wasted. What am I chasing? No, losing my mind sometimes, just trying to let you go. So if you could find some time to go and let me know, should I cancel these plans? Should we go make some new one? Could I be a man? Could I be a man?
Yeah, dude, it was so good. Like, I sent him the beat, I sent him an extended version of it, and it was so good that I was like, I should probably rearrange this section. I should just do a whole bridge, because it was the same. It was exactly the same, but I wanted to match his vibe, so I ended up changing, like, the synths here. And then this guy down here. Hello? Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, freaking had a blast with this one. The intro is Miko. I needed something for the intro, so I needed something. I wasn't satisfied with having a gap here, especially from Neverland. I feel like I might have maybe been able to come up with something better, but I didn't. So, oh well. And I love Miko. He's got a great vibe. If you ever need like just a vibe, you know what I'm saying? If you want like a section of your song where it's like, okay, this is the part that everyone knows, just get Miko to do it. Because he's great at that. I love it. We got the choir, we got the verse. Yeah, lots of fun. All right. So this is an interesting one. This is Stranger Danger, okay? So Stranger Danger, I had the sample chop already. I had the sample chop a long time ago. It was around the same time as I was making Neverland and Channel 15, and I had a completely different version of it. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that sample chop for you so you can see just how cool it is, because I love it. All right, so this is the sample chop because this was the coolest thing. Like I had been listening to a lot of like synthetic electronic, but like in the not like EDM. It was in the same vein as like Mort Garson or something like ambient electronic music. And I had heard this guy, and I loved the chords, but it was so. I loved it. I loved that movement. I thought it was adorable. But I was like, okay, but I want to make like a funky song. You know what I'm saying? So I came through, and I'm gonna just do the chop right here. Oh wow. I can't get the timing right, but you get what I'm saying. I took it, and then I chopped it, and then I turned it into this sound here. And that just had a groovy vibe. And I had that, and then I recorded my vocals on top of it. And that's literally all I had. That is all I had. I had maybe some crappy drums, but I had been sitting on it forever. Because it was trash, and I couldn't finish the song. I had just been sitting on it for the longest time. And then we finally got in contact with Cam, and I was like, Cam, you actually might be able to do something cool with this. You might have a lot of fun with this sample that I've got here. And he went really quickly, did this. he had that loop. And he told me, he was like, hey, you should actually just loop the vocals on there. Because I wanted to make like a poppy kind of vibe, like an R&B song. And it still kind of is. But he was like, you should loop the vocals on there. And I was like, oh, well, I wanted them to be a hook. But he was like, nah, it's cool if you just, like, this is a cool thing. You should just loop it. And I was like, okay, cool. So I kept it like that. And I like watched him make the beat here. And then he sent me the stems. And I recorded my verse here. This one was just put together really simply. I put my verse here, and then I knew that I wanted a gap here. I don't remember what I had in place of the strings, but I knew I wanted a gap here, and then I had the rest of my verse there. But when I had the gap and stuff, I just knew I wanted to change it up. Like I needed the song to change a little more than I did, so I came through. Because I love my synths, bro. My terrible sounding.
About snapping necks, chopping dicks off. About the way the feds would talk about me getting that money just to be documenting.
These strings are, it's a plugin that was like $100, which is expensive. So I was like, I use these strings often throughout the album because I bought them. I think the specific purpose I bought them for was this song. I was like, I need strings, but I need them to not sound like synthy. Like I do a lot of synthy stuff, so I wanted a more like organic sound, and you can still tell it's MIDI. Like if you got fine-tuned ears, you can really like listen to that and be like, oh, okay, that nigga put a MIDI. You know what I'm saying? But it really served my function. And then the strings add a lot to the end section.
Bye.
They're out of tune right now. I have to retune them every time. Whatever, I won't worry about it. I won't retune it right now. And then I just needed a sub bass. So it just sits really low in the mix. Yeah, the strings are so out of tune. It's so funny. It's okay, though. This sample is a news clipping from, it's kind of a dark story. A teen boy committed suicide a few years ago in Tennessee. So it's a true story. And the reason was because he was, like, humiliated for being gay. And I just wanted to put that in there because I kind of wanted to, like, narratively, I wanted to show, like, a juxtaposition between, like the worst inner thoughts of like an obsessed, like emotionally immature, like person, you know what I'm saying? Like someone who like is really into a crush and it kind of the incel vibe. I wanted to show that, but then show the exact flip side of it, which was like, I don't know, this is also a possibility if you like, this is the type of person you create if you like marginalize them, I guess. You create this type of like potentially obsessive, potentially suicidal. Like there's just a lot of negative options when you like abuse somebody like this. Like when the system abuses like a just any marginalized type of person. This example was just homosexuality because I like men. So that was probably a really shitty explanation. It's a good song though. I love this song. This is one of my favorites, and it's so simple. It's so simple. I had a lot of fun doing it though. All right. Next is Jambalaya. I don't actually have the file for Jambalaya, which is tragic. I might have old versions of the song, though. I found the old version of Jambalaya, so I can actually show you what it sounded like. And I can kind of walk you through my thought process with it. This sounds like crap. Yeah, I made this after listening to Carbonated Water by Ski Mask, the Slump God, and I wanted to make something hard. I wanted to make something heavy. I put my verse on it, but I knew my verse sounded like a second verse. Jambalaya is what I'm eating. Eat the sausage, eat the lobster, eat the mussels, and I finish with the golden chicken. I even had the hi-hats following my flow because you niggas want about it at the barbecue. Go it's in here with the other booze. I white like men with some other shoes. Couldn't pay to get a fit, so I gotta use my brother's card decline. Gotta get a free lunch in the back of the line, the sack of the line, instead of from the cooler behind and getting called dummy. Yeah. And then it had this whole extra section to it. This version sounds terrible, but I already knew I wanted to slow down. And I knew I wanted Miko to come on exactly like da da. I knew I wanted him to do that, and he fully did exactly what I needed. Eat me like a block of cheese. Boy, my sticky, tough eye, must remind him daddy weed. Ooh, check your attitude. Can't get mad at you, cause I'm lost in a cheddar. Spreading the pace, then I get it in your face, and I'm acting really ignorant. They calling me a nigga. Yeah. Man, I love Jambalaya. And there was a version, I knew I wanted somebody on that first verse. Initially, Young Peace recorded a verse for it, which was cool. And then I sent it to Frostbite Slim because I wanted him to do a verse for it. And he never recorded for it, which is okay. And then we finally got in touch with Cam Matthews. And I was like, Cam Matthews, can you spit a little something on this? And he did. And it was fantastic. And I loved it. I freaking love Jambalaya. We smacked that out very quickly, actually. Like, Miko and I had our parts done a long time ago. And then Cam finally came on and did his. And then we put it out around the same time we did the video. The video was super fun to do. When I was editing it, I sent it to Prezzo because he's like my favorite editor ever. And so I was just like, yo, you got a tip? You got any ideas on this? And he gave me some, and it worked out. It was fantastic. I love Jambalaya. It's a great song. And I put it towards the beginning because I knew it was a banger. You know what I'm saying? I just knew it was a banger. I tend to, my mindset with albums is to put your bangers earlier in the record. You know what I'm saying? So you can like hold people's attention. That's not to say front load it. Like every song should be good, in my opinion. Like don't put out a song if you think it's bad. Like not if somebody else thinks it. If you think it's bad, don't put it out. Just that doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that you think other people will like, you throw those earlier on, like the Motherbird, the Jambalaya. You put those earlier in the record. Make sure those are A-sides. Yeah, Bing Bop Interlude. I always knew that I wanted the interlude to include a segment from Frost on Sondering, because the first time that I got super faded was with him, and he, in that moment, was explaining Sondering to me, and it just resonated so hard. It resonated so hard that I really wanted him to record something for the album for it. So I already had that. There was an old version that had the sample here with this vocal on top of it. But I ended up changing it because I thought that was kind of corny. This sample is the designer I was talking about earlier. That's his brother, Ronan Elliott, on the keyboard here. It was just recorded, I don't know, just on a cell phone or something like that, and I freaking love it. And oh wait, I did all kinds of extra to it, but I need to, where's the original? Yeah, so that's what it was. And I forget where along the lines I ended up changing it in favor of a more funky chop, but I did. I was just like, that's lame. Let's It's just way more fun, especially when you get the kicks and the snare in there. And then you get the bass in there, and the earworm just really... And then this was right around the time that my sister had just passed as well. Like, this was like a couple months ago. So I think that's why it changed so drastically, because it initially was just the loop and then this on top. But then my sister had died, and I was like, dang. And I just really wanted to... I had a lot of thoughts and feelings about that, about the circumstances of it and all of it. So that's what this verse is. It's just me talking about my sister.
About to back that classic rap. Sample chop and the blackest cap. Peace on earth for the fattest rat. Pray for Madeline, mama dead. Never met her, karma said too many a bad dart, so we got her back. Do many a late tax, so we got her medicine. I don't believe they saw it coming unless they set it in stone. We coulda had her back home too. Between the hands that greed, the hands that feed, the greenest weed won't save thee from the meanest king, and that's me. Nigga, you should see my piece. It goes bing, bop, ring, pop. Up for the road, going down for the city. Bing, bop, ring, pop. Up for the road, going down for the city. What?
You woke up.
Yeah, man. Really simple. Really simple. Had a lot of fun doing that. That was made very quickly. It's another one of those songs that I've had the idea for a long time. Like, if I go back and, as a matter of fact, yeah. So this was January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. This was in September that this designer sent the recording. So this idea, and I heard it and I was like, can I sample this? And I got permission all the way back then, but then I didn't end up actually doing anything with it until January. Wow, January? That's actually crazy. Okay. So Telephone Song is a very, very fun one. So the sample is a sample from Mort Garson, which... it's Symphony of a Spider Plant, and it's just like one, I think it's the left channel. But Mort Garson, right? I discovered him in high school, when I was still in high school years ago, and I discovered him by way of a Dungeons and Dragons podcast I used to listen to called The Adventure Zone. He has a great song on there for The Adventure Zone, and I had been listening to him forever. And again, like I said, I had gotten back on that electronic ambient music vibe, so I was listening to this, and it got around here. And I don't know if you can hear this, but the channels are so clearly separated. Like, the font of the channel, like if you listen to the left side and the right side, there's a very clear separation. And initially I didn't care about the right side. The right side is what ended up being the sample, but I didn't care about the right side at all. I was just interested in the left side. So I was so fascinated with just that sound, and I had used that. And then I don't know where along the way I figured the right side was actually better, but I ended up taking the right side instead of the left, and that's why this sounds the way it does. Because it's crazy how different it sounds, yeah. And then I like I said, we had been talking to Cam Matthews and stuff like that, and I was fascinated with the way that he created drums. So I just kind of took a page out of his book and had this like rinky-dink little. I think I did the bass after I think I went straight to the bass actually. Yeah, that's what I did. And then I brought in the... And then I remember at one point I was like, this sounds like a phone ringtone or something like that. So I went ahead and committed. I've hard committed. I have this ringing down here, which functions as like a mid-tone. It just sits really nice in the bass zone. Yeah, dude. And then I even got this little dial tone I put on a MIDI. Because I just to sell it. And then this is my favorite part right here. I've got this, I wanted to... Cause I just did that because I thought it was funny. Like I've always thought the voice call sound effect was funny. So when I put it in there, I was like, which is so funny, dude. I love it. I wish I still had Frost's part here, so I could show you one of my favorite sections. Was that part right there, because it's rare that I let the loop actually play all the way out, but it really matched with what he was doing. He's like, while you busy hanging, while you niggas hanging, you backed up in the bag and flaming. I'm done talking to these trash ass dudes. I make you walk back that talk like Mike Jack moves. Think you bad? Better beat it, or I might jack you. It gets dirty as Diana. Shout out Tyler, the creator. Flow is hot as the equator. Shout out Oh my. And then he said, oh my, at the end. And I really wanted to keep it, but it just didn't work with what I was trying to do. I love when he does that. He'll do a verse, and then he'll put, oh my. I love Frost, dude. But yeah, this is a fun one. I had a lot of fun doing this. They got Feed. This is Feed right here. This is the simplest little song that I've ever participated in, and that's because half the work was already pretty much done. This beat right here, I was just sitting in a call with Cam Matthews, and he was just showing a bunch of his different tracks, and I heard that he had played this one, and I forget what part he played, but I was like, ooh, this reminds me of Weather. This gives me that Lost Again vibe. And then it got right here. And I thought that was so fire. It sounds like a dystopian, like end of the world. Which was so cool, and I knew I wanted to do some cool singing on it, so I just song in my head, crawl in my bed. The words I said feed the famine. There's not even any auto-tune on this. Read the planet, turns the pages. I'm enraged. And then I had the verse, which I'll talk about in a minute, but this part right here had me so happy. Cause I like for my songs to sound big. I like them to sound like they're going somewhere. So even with something simple like this, just till I know myself. I am the boogeyman. World on my watch, word in my hand. Know that my plans are big. Know what my name is. 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 And then bring it back. So that was my thought process to how I actually structured the song. But like I said, most of the work was already done. I just kind of put the map on there, if that makes sense. Like if this is like a landscape and this is like the map for the landscape. You get what I'm saying? The vocal chop sample here is James Baldwin. I've been obsessed with James Baldwin since senior year of high school. I took a class called Back to the Futurist, which was about like epistemology and like telling the future and stuff. And James Baldwin was one of the guys we studied, and I loved him. I loved him because he's gay and doesn't care about nothing but like love. That's it. That's all he does. You know what I'm saying? So I put that in there, and I found that, like, I didn't find it. I had it just in the back of my memory, but I had never watched the whole thing, and then I watched the whole thing, and
Never have been in despair by the world. I'm enraged by it.
Enraged, all right.
But I don't think I'm in
that was in it. And it's like, I didn't know that before I wrote this, so I found this, and I was like, oh snap, I should put that at the end because that's what I'm enraged. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did in the song. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. And the rap part is literally just a stream of consciousness. Like I was just like thinking. I was just thinking about stuff. The Santa Claus is my mom and I's favorite movie to watch around the holidays. We always watch Home Alone, and we always watch the Santa Claus. And one of the main themes is like seeing is not believing. Like it's like that you just gotta. Like, there are certain things you shouldn't need to see it to believe it, but reversing that in context of the real world, there's a lot of stuff that we, like, you know, the powers that be, that we put a lot of, I don't know, trust in, and we've never seen them, spoken to them, know about them. I was just fascinated with that concept, and then I just went on from there. So Channel 15 is another one that's so old that I don't have the original final version. Like, I have like a salvaged recreation based on some old corrupt files, but I don't have the actual original. But this sounded way different when I was... Oh, you can see all the red here, all of the missing pieces. See, here's the missing drums. There's just a lot of missing stuff. The sample is missing. There's so much missing. This is crazy. Man, I don't think I have the piano. Oh, frick. I don't think I have I gotta show you the piano. Yeah, man, this song was super fun. This sample here is god dang another like ambient electronic album. It's called Trees, Etc. by Naran Ratan. And I sampled 3 different songs from the album. Because it's just so good. I'm going to show you all 3 since I have an open, you know what I'm saying, since it's open anyway. That right there. This right here. Let me just go ahead and chop it. Yep, this is the part that I took. I took this, and then I think I just let it hang, right? I just let it hang. Yeah, that sounds really bad because of the because of the lack of EQ. There we go. Yep. And then the other part I think is yeah, there it is. We came in, we brought that part, we took that part there, we slid it up here. Oh, and then I chopped it. Okay. And then I brought in the other guy. I think I came in with this brother here and chopped it there and did that. Yep, that's exactly what I did. And then slipped back this way. And that's pretty much the guts of that part. Now, the more interesting one to me, well, it's actually not as interesting from a sample perspective. The sample is much more straight up. But I had a lot of fun, like, writing this entire section because there was a lot of thought that went into the arrangement of, like, the vocals and things like that. And I actually reused lyrics from an older song that I did because similar to, and I've mentioned this concept before, but I don't feel like I fulfilled the vision in the old song, so I just did it again because, I mean, I don't know who's gonna stop me, you know? Yeah.
Every day was easy.
Yeah, see, that's not chopped right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Yep, and then we will take that, pull it here. And then yeah, I think this is pretty much how I did it. And so
Every day was easier. When I met you, every day was easier. I wasted.
Yeah. And I think that was on sample 3. That was on track 14.
Every day was easier. When I met you, every day was easier. I wasted time 20.
Yeah, dude. Boom.
Every day was easier. When I met you, every day was easier.
This is that concept I was talking about earlier where I have... Oops.
Every day.
Bro, where's the goddamn tempo shift? Oh, it's up here? Okay, cool.
Every day was easier.
That's in the center, and these are on the left and right.
Every day was easier. When I met you, every day was easier. I wasted time 2020 in the summer. When you were mine, never thought I'd lose another. But every day it rains in Seattle. Said every day it rains in Seattle. But I'm still scared of the dark. But I'm still scared of the dark. Everything's the same, it don't matter. Every day it rains in Seattle. Said every day it rains in Seattle. Every day it rains in Seattle. Said every day it rains in Seattle.
I freaking love this song, dude. All of these missing pieces are John's vocals, JG's vocals, and then Phelps Lewis. He did some piano stuff here, which I really want to show you because it really makes... It like really makes this section. It's like a doom boom ding 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 ding. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Cool. Well, I can't find it, unfortunately, but it was a whole thing. It was super cool. It was super fun. We recorded it at John's apartment. It was so sick, dude. I literally I went in there and I was like, yo, I need like a thing. I need like a some kind of flourish. You know what I'm saying? And he did the same thing through here. He just kept playing. He played through the remainder of the song. It was gorgeous. It was so cool. Had a lot of fun doing it. This is a great song. I love all the samples. Samples are amazing. And then these samples here.
It was easier when I met you. Every day was easier. I wasted time 2020 in the
Very different, very different. All right. Toad Boy. All right. This song, I had so much freaking fun making. This is my personal favorite song on the whole album because I just had the most fun making it. I just really had a ball. It was fantastic. Again, this was a result of me listening to more Blade. I really like Blade. I like White Armor as a producer. Additionally, I had been looping that one Drake album. If you're reading this, it's too late. So this is like an OVO type drum. Like the drum is very OVO 40. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude, I have the sound design so wet. But I think I started with this melody. So I started there, and then I think I did the drums and the bass next, just because I was keeping it simple. And then I had the frog in there too. And then I brought in this piano here. And then I also have like I said, I love filling out my space. So I've got this pad back here that just fills up whatever this region of sound is. And then you throw this in, it grabs you got your low there. And then you got your bass here. Boom. You see that? And then you bring this in here. You get some space here. And then my favorite part, the goddamn strings. These strings are fantastic. You can have them do anything. I freaking love strings. Yeah, I had a lot going on. This was my favorite part. Yeah, dude. I love making those type of movements, you know what I'm saying? And the more into like the actual arrangement I get, the more hands-on I can be. Like I love samples, but like I love this also. Like and then you get that with the strings, bruh. So fantastic. Had so much fun with that. And then the vocals, dude, are all over the freaking place, dude. I remember when I had these vocals and I was showing them to Massive Legend. I don't think they were distorted like this before. I don't think I had them distort. Yeah, I had it. I think I had it sounding like that. Which is fine. I like that. But then I was like, yeah, you could do anything with it. And I just turned that on and I was like, whoa! It's so much more potent. You know what I'm saying? Uh. Also, I don't know if you can notice, but I mix low. Like, I mix really low. When I'm mixing, I have my knob turned up to medium volume, like 50% volume, and then I just mix low because I add the master, which raises everything up. And you just get a lot more ceiling to work with in your mastering process when you get down to what's going on here, which I actually didn't know what I was doing at the time. Because that's ridiculous and I should pull it down here, but it doesn't matter because the song's out. That's the thing about Boogeyman. None of these songs are finished. None of them are finished. I think my favorite part of this, though, I love the whole thing, but I loved doing this. I'm just looking after my health. I'm full of myself. I'm full of myself, yeah. Because I really wanted that. I wanted to try that auto-tune sound thing. To the back of my room, I forget about you. Because I feel like when you're doing kind of a lazy performance like that and you let the auto-tune pull out the actual notes, it's a really nice it's like my voice sounds like tired and sad, and then you get like the details of that tired sadness or whatever in the auto-tune. It's just super cool. The background vocals, though, this was a trick that I learned from Joe Cash at the Cash Cabin, and you record your audio not directly at the mic but somewhere else in the room if you want it to sound like a crowd, because when you think about like at a stage performance or something like that, nobody's in front of a mic, they're just yelling, So I do that, and I did that with the call and response guy too. And I did this like this because I wanted it to sound like not everybody was on knew the words. You know what I'm saying? Like for this one. I'm full of myself. I'm full of myself. Yeah. Crawling to the back of my room. I forget about you. Because this one, I say the words before it's repeated, so of course everyone's gonna know it. But like here, I don't say it beforehand, so like I just put a little bit of voices here, and then they finally catch on, and everybody comes in. It's like. I forget about you. I forget about you. Yeah. Take the words out of my mouth. Get the fuck out of my house. It's just so fun, especially when you get the beat in. And then I brought the hook back. And this right here is my favorite part. And again, another example of the that like the mixing thing I was talking. Where's my tempo? Where's my tempo change? Where's my tempo change? Where is it? So I forget to cry some. Whoa, why is it? Where is my tempo, bruh? I think it's here. I forget to cry sometime. Where is it? I forget to cry sometimes. Seattle rains on my face. Yeah, that's the center, right? And it's just got mostly the low part, right? And then you get the high end stuff to. I forget to cry sometimes. Seattle rains on my face. Don't erase the man. Building a song for me is like just filling out a space, right? Because it's like I don't like mud. I don't like having like extra stuff, you know. I don't like having. I need it to be clear what I'm saying. So like the low end doesn't have. It's got reverb but no delay. But then the high stuff. On my face, don't erase the mess. Who did you see last?
Get under your sheets.
But then right here, I wanted it to sound bigger, so I brought back the crowd thing, like before I brought back the crowd.
Get under your sheets. He's under your bed. He's stuck in your head.
Just to fill it out, you know what I'm saying?
Get under your sheets. He's under your bed. He's stuck in your head.
Yes, dude. And so it all comes together.
I forget to cry sometimes. Seattle rains on my face. Don't erase the mess. Who did you see last? Get under your sheets. He's under your bed. He's stuck in your head. I'm breaking good bread with the enemy's enemy.
And I love this little bridge too, like instrumentally, because I have this all I have is the drums and this keyboard, which is just doing the chords. Like it's kind of like a hopeful, like somber, like just kind of a loop, you know what I'm saying? And then you bring the bass in for that weight. And then I just brought in, I don't know what I was doing here. I just thought it would be fun having a little noise over in the side. And then I started playing little melodies. Yeah, man. And then the strings, which
They will learn to pray.
excuse that. That's my computer really doesn't like automation. But yeah, dude, I just had a blast with this song. It was so much fun to make, every single part of it. The vocals, we were having a blast, and then Miko came in, he was having a blast. And I recorded something with John, and it was so good. I really wanted to keep it in, but because I'm an idiot, I recorded it with the tempo change going down. It completely corrupted his recording file. Like it was all crackly and garbage, and I'm disappointed by it. I should have had him come back and record it again, but I don't know. It's things like that. The thing that was happening there was like one of those in the moment things. I didn't feel like it could have been recreated. Additionally, this song has on the Bandcamp version, if you buy it for $1, the instrumental for this has an entire orchestral arrangement at the end, and I wish I kept that in. Every time I listen to the album, I'm like, dang, I should have kept that in. But oh well, what are you gonna do? That's what I'm saying. All of these songs, none of these songs are really done. It's just like I got to a place where I was like, all right, I can't imagine what else goes here. And then retroactively, I'm like, oh, okay, well, there's something missing here or whatever. But it's already out, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is, and I'll just do better next time. You know. Well, I can't find it. Whatever. Sound Decision is old, and I just never liked this song. I don't know why. It never felt like, I don't know, it never felt good to me. Like it's not that it's bad, it just never felt like, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it. I've never really liked it. But before I was actually gonna fully scrap it. All I had was this stuff here. Yeah, this I hate trying to run it. I think it's because it's so frustrating to work on, because for some reason it tanks my CPU. But sample on this is pretty cool. The chops on it are pretty cool. But my favorite parts are Miko's parts. Like, yeah, I was going to scrap it until he did that. And I was like, oh, that's actually freaking amazing. Because I knew I wanted this to be the outro, because it made sense narratively with what was going on. I love all of the references in it. I love that everybody is on it. Like, this is Frostbite Slim on here.
We won't ever learn to make sound decisions. Can't please our family, so we make new religion. I wash my hands of all the pain I was given. I'm gonna
Yeah, I love that. Everybody was on here.
won't ever learn to make sound decisions. Can't please our family, so we make
Yeah, just a lot in there. A lot of cool stuff in there. And then Young Peace was doing like
sound decisions.
doing some falsetto stuff.
Pain I was given. I'm gone. I'm gone.
And it just added so much. Like independently, you know. Soldier, bro. He had all the flourishes in here.
I was given. I'm gone. Yeah, yeah. I'm gone.
He had all those flourishes, right? And, you know, by itself, it sounds weird or whatever. But when you get it all together, it comes in like...
We won't ever learn to make sound decisions. Can't please our family, so we make new religion. I wash my hands of all the pain I was given. I'm gone, and I'm gone.
Yes, dude. And then, of course, you bring the beat back in.
We won't ever learn to make sound decisions. Can't please our family.
This is the melody from And I Love You.
I wash my hands
I just had to bring it back, you know what I'm saying?
I was given. I'm gone, and I'm gone.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. And that's pretty much the Boogeyman. That's the whole album. Bro, this was kind of disorganized or whatever, but I had fun. Let me know if you have any questions. Bro, buy the album on Bandcamp. It's $1, and you get all the instrumentals plus the demos. All the instrumentals I had. I don't think Jambalaya is on there. But that's the only one that's missing. And Jambalaya is replaced with a pretty sweet demo of a different song that just isn't out. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for watching. Peace out.